Okay, so I had a long day today, so I'm recording this a little bit later, a lot a bit later. But with that said, I'm just gonna go ahead straight into it like I usually do in the past. Obviously, as you can see, I've switched completely to footprint charts. I'm no longer looking at normal charts to say the least. I mean, if you want to look at it, I do look at normal charts still. They're still right here. So I do still look at them, but if I want to look at data, I look at footprint charts. So footprint charts, as you can tell, have much more data behind a candlestick. So with that being said, what resulted to me taking this trade? Well, first off, this was a mistake. This trade was a mistake. Putting that out there. I did not mean to. Well, I did mean to take this trade, but I did not mean to risk what I risked in that trade, if that makes sense. I had some issues with my broker, so when it came to trading it, when it came to trading, I exited at a amount that was larger than was supposed to be. Hopefully that made sense. But yeah, so overall, I didn't really mind it. I just kind of looked past it and told myself if another setup shows up and I can execute, cool. If it doesn't, doesn't. I'll just have to go to the next day, right? So with that being said, I saw that we had a move down, and then afterwards we headed into these imbalances that if I zoom out, you can see there are stacked imbalances right here. So upon these stacked imbalances, I noticed that we rebounded off of them. It doesn't really show on the 5 minute chart, shows more on the 3 minute chart that we headed into some imbalances and saw some buy volume on them. Also, you can see that there was buy volume on this candlestick. And if we zoom in, you can see that buy volume initiated towards the end of the candle, resulted to having a lesser of a negative delta, which triggered me into trade. This resulted to going into a 10-minute trade and ultimately basically getting in and getting out of the trade, resulting in 77 points on the Dow Jones. This is obviously much more than I was anticipating. Usually I go for about 30 points on Dow Jones or Nasdaq, 30 to 50 points, but because of the move up, what I did was I started trailing my stop. So I put my stops at break even, and I slowly started trailing them more and more to a point where as soon as the price went back down, it hits my trailing stop, and no matter what, I exit with some profit, right? So yeah, that was pretty much the day. Um, and yeah, got nothing much else to say. That rhymed. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'll go ahead and see what tomorrow brings. So, yeah.